Trick or treat, motherfucker. Welcome in to the Bro Force Squad podcast, where we're doing another world famous movie commentary on Halloween H20. We have our movies paused at the Miramax Pictures sign is fully up. We're watching this on YouTube, Amazon, not illegally this time. So while you get there, let's go around and meet the bros. I'm your fat as fuck guy on the mic, Matt Geiger, and beside me we have one half of our horror connoisseur, Jeff Hornacek, live and ready to go. Jeff, now Michael Myers actually dated your ex-wife Rachel for a while after you split up, right?
Yeah, she said he was a total foodie. I mean, guy would get in the kitchen, and when he would get that butcher knife, I mean, look out, vegetables. But she did say when he would be watching the Baltimore Ravens games, had a bit of a temper. So, honestly, I'm looking at. I hope that Rachel, you're listening and watching right now, and when you see how Michael behaves in this movie, feel free to pick up the phone. Let's build bridges, not walls, you know?
It's still weird, those Christmas cards with Michael with his mask on with your ex-wife and your two kids, but they're still hanging up on the fridge. So,
what's the line from Major League? How's your wife and my kids?
Yeah, how's your wife and my kids? All right, Miramax Pictures fully up. Halloween H20. We're going to press play in Trick or Treat. It's Halloween season.
It is, man.
Pumpkin beers, Oktoberfest. You know, the devil. It's all in style.
What was the last one? Looking through the cast here, Matt, this is a buy low situation here. We got Michelle Williams in it, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
I forgot he's in it.
Yeah.
And so did he.
I've never seen this movie.
Good. So Jeff and Cycly are horror connoisseurs. They usually take the baton during late September, early October. However, I'm a huge Halloween fan. The first one is fantastic. The second one is great. Third, fourth, and fifth, let's not talk about that. But this one
isn't even a Halloween movie, really. They just used the title.
I think it's third, fourth, fifth, and sixth.
But well, one of them is like it's just like masks are possessing people. It has nothing to do with
Michael. That's the third one. It doesn't even have Michael Myers or anything in it. However, this one goes totally with the first two. It makes sense, and it is a fucking great story. Even though it's called H20, we're lucky it wasn't underwater, but it's not, so we can just sit here and enjoy it.
Now, the way the second one ends, can you remind me? Because obviously I know the second one takes place right after the first. Laurie's in the hospital. It's revealed Michael is her brother. This is prior to the Danny McBride ones retconning all those.
Right.
So
the second one is canon. That's it here. They kind of referenced the other ones, but they said the first one and the second one is canon. So the first one, we already did a commentary on that. You can check out that on any of our platforms. The second one, we haven't, but it starts basically 10 minutes after the first one, and she's in the hospital, and he comes looking for her in the hospispittal. She realizes that that's her brother. That's why she's coming and stuff. Oh, there is Gordon Levitt. He's not in it. He's not in it that much.
A little bit early.
But this is so they're in Dr. Samuel Loomis's house, who is basically the bald doctor that was after Michael. He was Michael's therapist after he killed everyone.
Is this chick fucking Loomis?
I mean, she's his assistant, so probably, yeah.
They work together, Matt. That'd be inappropriate.
This is the 90s, Jeff. I mean, how else you expect women to get jobs? This is before the times were changing.
I'm getting an early vibe here. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is definitely going to get stabbed to death. He's smiling too much. Anytime a kid's too happy.
This guy wants to be like Scott Conn so bad, but he's just not.
Yeah, if you're lettuce wrap Scott Conn, we got some issues. Not the cleanest break-in. Doesn't look like Michael Myers' work,
He's farm raised Scott Conn.
Michael's literally has a murder boner right now. He's like, God, fucking kids.
Gordon Levitt has been right in front of our eyes our entire life. We just never really realized until he kind of started taking himself seriously. But he's in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
From when he was 9 to when he's 29.
This is probably right during Third Rock from the Sun, right? Maybe towards the end of it.
Yeah, I never watched that show, but probably.
But on paper, him and John Lithgow in a sitcom, I mean,
this is great. He's like, hey, I got the hockey stick, and I've spent a little time in the penalty box, so don't fuck with me.
yeah. So just fucking show yourself.
What's
This
that old saying? You don't bring a hockey stick to a serial killer fight.
Yeah, I think that's actually in the Old Testament. One thing I love here, they copy the font in the beginning when they say they're in Langston, Illinois, from the original Halloween,
Yep.
and then you remember that opening
Which
scene?
is actually Southern California, but yeah.
Not fooling anybody. Not a
we
fucking
tackled
brown,
that in the first one.
Not a brown leaf in sight. But also the way the camera is like handheld, he's backing through the rooms. The very opening scene in the first Halloween where like kid Michael kills, I believe his mom, maybe it's his sister, shot the exact same way. So at least this one so far paying homage to the original.
He kills his I think it was his older sister that was watching young Laurie, who is Jamie Lee Curtis now.
Got it. Wow, 2 hours passed between when it was inside and came out.
Yep. Well, time change. This is actually the original nurse or assistant from Dr. Loomis, which is really cool that she got. She obviously she wasn't doing anything else, but at least she didn't, Carrie Fisher on us and blow up. She's recognizable from the 70s. This looks good.
He was like, I got the beer. You can go get murdered now. That's really all I was trying to find in there. What's the line in Saving Silverman? There's nothing in the fridge in the closet.
Yeah.
It's just like eating her spaghetti, Jack Black is.
Man, you could put a 6-pack of soda in here.
Anything you want to keep cold.
So this is a great way to start off the movie. So, you'll see here in a little bit, but Michael, of course, goes to Loomis's house. Who else would know where Laurie Strode is, who has a different name 20 years later, witness protection and everything.
Right. Dean of a California private school.
Right. So he's coming here to get information. He's been secluded from the outside world, but apparently he knows how to read files. That is basically something that I've never seen, and I'm a college-educated man. I wouldn't know how to read a WITSEC paper, but
So
whatever.
I'm sorry, I either cut you off or just was locked into Joseph Gordon-Levitt showing up on screen. How did you say Michael ends? Like, how does his story end in the second one? Like, is he off in hiding, or does he get arrested?
Man, I'll have to I haven't rewatched the second one so fucking long. He shows up to the hospital.
What took him 20 years to come back is just what I'm wondering.
Well, that's the problem here, is that it didn't, because he's been in 4 other movies till this. They're just basically, this is canon. But you'll see.
Oh yeah, look at this.
God, that's fucking awesome.
Great, that's just good cinematography. Also, I remember I had one of these flashlights as a kid. Very, very reliable.
And if you notice, there's something, I'll have to read this. This is almost Jeff's fun fact, but he never hurts babies or women that don't have sex. There's a method to his madness, Jeff.
Look, we're not animals. So I did have some Horns fun facts. If you guys want a little peek behind the curtain of the Broforce Squad, they were on my other laptop, which actually died about 20 minutes before we started potting this. So
I got plenty of fun facts too.
Okay,
but I'd love to hear yours.
I'll try and audible a few of these. This one is pretty long, but this movie was originally. I'm sorry, this looks important. Killing it with
Gordon-Levitt's up. He's not billed anymore in the movie.
That's an all-time kill, dude. Hockey skate to the face
with your own skate.
2 in the box, and Michael's like, "For what?"
Is there anything better than a scary movie when you're in middle school or high school? The weather's changing. You got that girl that is kind of scared to go to second base, but this might put her over the edge on the couch.
You were so brave in there. Michael picking up the fucking knife is like when Yoda lifted the X-wing out of the Dagobah swamp. It's like this
Pretty
is
much.
just.
Or when Gordon Bombay takes that stick and faces Wolf the Den of Stanson in D2. Check out that movie commentary as well.
Yeah.
And all of our Star Wars.
Cops come, like, looks like a prank. Okay. What would possibly lead you to think that?
Unless there's a black family in there, there's really no reason for us to go in, so.
Yeah. But just in case there is, let's withdraw our fire.
Let's just open the door.
But aren't
just
they the
in
ones
case.
Oh, God!
God, this is for the 90s? That's pretty brutal right there.
Put the kids to bed, Matt. Jesus Christ.
Vince Carter. It's over. It's over.
Dude, I remember...
nothing here.
Yeah.
No black people, so we're just going to go on.
Check out our Saw 3 commentary. If you haven't seen Saw 3, skip ahead 30 seconds for spoilers. But at the end of Saw 3, Jigsaw gets his throat slit like that, and he is dead. He never comes back. But I remember people on the internet wanted him back in the movies so bad. They were like, okay, dude, if a doctor got to him in like 10 minutes, he'd be okay. And everyone's like, his throat was fucking slit, bro.
This is why I hate the internet, because if you brought him back, which Jigsaw is such a lovable character, those people would be like, what the fuck? You guys throat slit. Fuck this shit. I'm like, all right, what do you want?
You're the
just
one
a miserable
person.
person.
Train, yeah. Now they come. I mean, the cops probably had body cams. They were like, yeah, the officers who responded said they thought it was a prank. And then her throat got slit, so.
If you don't mind, Jeff. The bell sounds like shit. I don't know.
We need to get a new one. We have the pod money to get a new one if you need to.
Anyway, little fun facts, Jeff. Fun facts. So, did you know John Carpenter was scheduled to direct this? Who directed the first two?
Oh wow!
And this is like his fucking story. And he said, "But I have to have certain freedoms, and we will a little tease for you. I'll get into why he didn't direct it. There's about 2 or 3 reasons that are also fun facts, but this isn't the right time. It's premature, okay? You're on the couch with the chick, but, don't come yet. Just chill out. And what do we love at the Bro Force Squad? We love when, what have we been watching this? 15, 20, almost 10 minutes. And here comes, like, produced by, directed by. I fucking love that. Set up the story.
And it's artistic as fuck.
And then get the
way it's fading in and out. I mean, this is art, bro.
Jamie Lee Curtis.
So, because I haven't seen this movie before, I don't know exactly when to interject these. Oh, that's the Halloween 3 reference, right? With the mask? Because that's
that's the mask he wore to kill. Like when Michael Myers was like 6, that's the mask he wore.
Got it.
And Loomis is dead. Laurie Strode is dead.
Yeah,
quote unquote. Yeah, so she could go in WITSEC, but Michael Myers has found her file at Dr. Loomis's house, and he's about ready to fucking fuck up some shit, So introducing Josh Hartnett, this must be his first role.
Wow, that's crazy. Speaking of Josh Hartnett, this is a quote from him on IMDb. So before he knew Jamie Lee Curtis was involved, Josh Hartnett said he had a lot of trepidation about auditioning. Quote, Halloween 7? Is that going straight to video or is that going straight to hell? End quote. This is the
I don't know if you saw that, but it said with LL Cool J and Joseph Gordon-Levitt as like George. It should have said, and who was George? He's dead now. So he's
and then the credits say, remember, because the skate went into his fucking face. Just in case we forgot.
This is interesting too, because Banner's not on this pod, but John Carpenter did this score, which for me, I would put the score up with Jaws and Star Wars and all. I mean, what this fucking score is from, and it basically takes over a month, the score does. However, you usually don't see a writer, director, and that came up with the score. He did fucking all. Turn it off.
Put the kids back to bed even harder.
We know girls probably got sexually assaulted during this movie, but can we just enjoy it? It's Halloween. Just put our differences aside.
Let me just say this. If you have a good example of this, please put it in the comments below. But to direct a movie and write the score, number one, how do you even have the talent or ability to do those two things? And then number two, I mean, the fucking time commitment to do that, it's insane. Although it probably helps in a lot of ways because as you're like directing a scene, you're thinking of the music in your head that's going to play. No one in the Halloween universe closes their windows.
And this is a little forecasting. So what's going to happen in the third act here?
What a gorgeous house. Oh, this is the private school. Got it. Remember
Private
Chalkboard?
school where she teaches. Because she was really good at, the books and shit like that.
The
Josh
original,
Hartnett.
according to IMDb, Matt, the original title for this film was Halloween 7, The Return of Laurie Strode, which
I
was...
was reading it was The Revenge of Laurie Strode. It
Oh,
might
I'm
be
sorry.
Return.
No, you're right. I did read that wrong.
Okay.
Excuse me. The Revenge of Laurie Strode. It was supposed to be a follow-up to Halloween 5, The Revenge on Michael Myers.
I love this too, where they're like showing kind of the past. Like that's fucking awesome.
What was Halloween 6?
After this one, Resurrection.
No.
Oh, sorry. So it went Halloween 1 and 2, which we already covered. Halloween 3 is stupid, where it's not even about Michael
It's
Myers.
not
It's about like
Halloween.
a TV or a mask or something. Halloween says 3. 4 and 5 are like Laurie Strode's like the girl's like 6, and it's either her niece or her estranged daughter, and it's stupid as fuck. And then this one's the next one, and then Resurrection's the one with Busta Rhymes. And then I don't think there's any more until the one that
The
we
Rob
actually
Zombie.
did a review on in like 2018.
Well, remember Rob Zombie did the 1 and 2 remakes, basically.
Yeah. I love Zombie. I'm not counting those. These are actually canon with the original Halloweens.
So 4 and 5, is that still Michael Myers hunting that other girl?
Yeah, so instead of Laurie Strode, which actually they recasted Laurie Strode, and she died. But it wasn't Jamie Lee Curtis.
This franchise is a fucking mess.
It is.
They only think about like the current movie.
But the thing is that this one I would argue is as good as the original Halloween, because if you just forget anything that Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't in, this makes total fucking sense.
Yeah.
There's a scene, it's a little bit of ways that when I watched this with my mom, who's like a huge Halloween fan, I was like, oh my God, like this is fucking great. So Jamie Lee Curtis comes back. They had to beg her back because obviously the last 3 didn't do so hot. So why the fuck would she come back to this? Like, well, it's the 90s.
Well,
We're
at
going to
least
have
she
a bunch of
knows,
teeny boppers in there.
and she knows she has leverage to negotiate, right? She's like, you need me probably more than I need you.
So
True
Jeff,
Lies just came out. Heard of it?
I hope you have this fun fact because this is extremely interesting. My wife didn't know this and she was interested. Jamie Lee Curtis's mom is Marion Crane. Why does that matter? She was the girl in Carrie. So this is basically like having Denzel's son. Like she is fucking horror movie royalty. Cycly should have her poster on his bedroom wall, and he probably fucking does.
Well, Sissy Spacek was Carrie.
Sorry, she was in Carrie. She wasn't
okay.
Carrie. She was in it.
Got it. So basically, she's like Robert Ory. You add her to a team that already has its players.
She's more like Tim Hardaway Jr., huh?
But both are apt analogies, I think. I gotta say this
here. Sorry, just to tell you what's happening in the story. Hartnett here wants to go Halloween at his private school. They go on like an overnight trip. And I think he's like a senior, a junior, and he has a girlfriend. Of course, he wants to fuck her all, dog. Who wouldn't? She doesn't want to because every Halloween she gets fucking nuts because she remembers what happened to him on Halloween or her.
Is his girlfriend Michelle Williams?
Yes, because the other girl here, I believe, is Taylor in She's All That, right?
I believe so. I haven't seen that movie in so long. Someone below help us out. Again, this is sort of the Bro Force Squad charm is we don't. Where are you? We're not fucking gonna look this up, even though the internet is.
Brunette, I've masturbated to. I mean, be more specific. I'm sorry.
I gotta say, I do like the prep school jackets these guys have. It's preppy enough to where they're the douchebags that we love, not the ones we deserve. You know?
So, Jeff, were you on the review of the 2018 one with me?
No, but I did go back and rewatch it afterwards because
Okay.
I loved it so much, and I also loved it.
So, both of them. So, the 2018 only the first Halloween's canon. This one, the first two are canon because they actually play that they're brother and sister here. In
Yeah, there's
2018, they
Michelle
don't.
Williams.
However, I love what they did with Laurie Strode's character in both of them. This one got basically not over her fears, but she made something of herself and was a teacher, private school. The other one, she's just a backwoods chick that you don't fuck with the 22, waiting for him to come. So I love both. I can't pick which character I like better, but both of them make sense after a traumatic thing like that.
First off, I didn't even know Michelle Williams had a nose job until I watched this movie. So pre-nose job, Michelle Williams. But that's a great point, Matt. I think the thing that's so cool about Laurie Strode is that they've found ways, for better or worse, whether it's worked or not, they have tried to sort of reinvent or develop her character as the franchise has gone on. Because her character in the new Halloween, the Danny McBride one, is so fucking interesting to me. Like again, the chick
Yes.
that has let Michael Myers control her life, and now she says, "I've had enough." Like, she wants him to come in the sequel, in
Yeah.
the new one, right? She's like, "I'm gonna fucking destroy you."
And this
And,
is just horror stories teach us a lot of things, but moms, if you're a single mom, don't go to a fucking rest area. Come on, make your kid hold it.
and look, if it's locked, it's probably because someone shit all on the floor. You know?
There's a reason it's blocked. But so this, so you and Cycly love horror movies. I'm kind of hot and cold on them. They have to have a good story. That's why I like some of the Halloween movies. I like a couple of the Saw ones. If you have a good story, it's not that I'm weird about you scaring the shit out of me, as long as the story makes sense. But in this, Michael Myers is not going to have much character development. Let's be fucking honest. I mean, he
That's
can't
not who
talk.
he
He can't,
is, right?
So Laurie Strode has to have all of it. So this movie and the 2018 one, I'm like, yes. I'm like, both of these make sense. Both of them do.
Also,
You have
Matt,
Witsec, or she's like, no, this is who I am. I'm just waiting for people to fucking hunt this guy.
definitely. This scene is. It almost feels like the scene. No spoilers here, but there's a scene in the new Halloween that feels very akin to this. Actually, almost a ripoff. Now that I'm looking at it again, right?
Is it the
With the
Rob
podcast
Zombie
chick.
one
No,
where?
no, the newer one, the podcast chick, where she's in the restaurant
Oh, right, yeah, yeah.
and he drops the teeth on the floor.
The Rob Zombie one was when he was in like a gas, like not a gas station, but where they work on cars, and he like killed a fucking dude.
I haven't seen the Rob Zombie ones. I don't think I'm a big Rob Zombie guy, to be
I'm
honest.
a huge Rob Zombie fan, and I would do the first one because it goes into depth on Michael and Loomis when he's like 10. So it goes into depth on their therapy sessions, which I fucking loved. It was very interesting.
Loomis was working with him from that young of an age.
Yeah, once he killed his older sister, and I think he killed his parents too. It depends on which adaptation you're watching. However, right then he goes into like the psych ward and he's only 6, and Loomis worked with him from 6 until he was like 28 or however old do you think he is. He doesn't kill kids. He just doesn't. I mean, everyone has morals, Jeff.
Yeah,
Some
he's
have a
not an
little more
animal.
than others.
Jesus.
You would have seen Michael Myers on the log at Epstein Island. Let's just say that. He's not interested in that. He just wants to kill like people that have already
Hey,
been
you have
like 20 or 30.
Matt. You have your hobbies. He has
Yeah.
his. Okay. You
Hey, we
like to
all have our
golf.
vices.
No one sits here and criticizes you for golfing.
We're all sinners at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Murdering isn't hurting anybody. Wait, what?
So this guy's the principal who Jamie Lee Curtis is fucking. I mean, it's the 90s. You want to raise her or not?
So this is a boys and girls private school. That's nice.
Damn right. Can the girls like? I mean, do you have to dress the same as the boys? I know they're wearing skirts probably or something, but
Rules are rules. Although the guy to the right of Josh Hartnett not adhering to dress code. I don't know if you saw his sweater.
he didn't give a fuck.
God, that's
His,
cool.
you know how much money my dad pumps into this fucking school,
Do
Jeff?
you?
I don't
Yeah.
have
Do
to
you really
wear
want to
goddamn.
jeopardize that annual donation? Oh my
And
God, this
Jamie
guy's
Lee Curtis's mom makes an appearance somewhere in this movie. Yeah, that's her right there. So
oh, her
she was
actual
in
mom.
Carrie. Yeah, that's her actual mom who's in Carrie, which is very. It's. I mean, that's a. Hey Jamie, just sign. I don't want to sign. We'll get your mom in the movie. Okay. When do I have to be
Go
on
on.
set?
Yeah, go on. Whoa, dude, fucking keep it in your pants.
God, don't you miss the '90s where you could just have sex anywhere? I mean, if you're a teacher that was 35, you could just bang an 18-year-old student. No one cared. It was just free love. You could do whatever you wanted.
Yeah, the '70s
No
thought they had
social media.
the '70s might have invented free love, but the '90s perfected it.
Damn right. Condoms were, an option.
They were optional. I mean, they were
Not no more.
readily available, but not recommended. I tried to look through the IMDb cast list because this guy is like a pretty well-renowned '90s character actor, but I couldn't. Either his photo was
He's
so out of date I don't
he's in
recognize.
Animal House, right? I believe.
Yeah, but do we know his name? At least his first name, because he's not coming up at
No one
the top.
knows. No one knows his name. They just know what he was in.
Tell you what, Matt. What are we for? Okay, I was about to say I could use some LL Cool J right now, but
You need him.
by the way, you want an OG Bro Force Squad moment? Go back to our Deep Blue Sea movie commentary with LL.
So LL in the '90s. Do you think he? I mean, Tyrese is one too. So he was a rapper first. Couldn't tell you one song. LL, I could. I could tell you a couple songs. But LL actually is a good actor. Loved him in Any Given Sunday. He's great in Deep Blue Sea. He's good in this. Don't mind him.
I just like him as a guy. I mean, he just seems like
I
a
like
cool
LL
fucking
Cool
dude.
J. Oh, he's great in SWAT. I like him in
Oh
SWAT.
yeah. You know, it took me like 10 years to realize LL stands for Ladies Love Cool J.
Ladies love Cool James.
Yeah. I mean, only he could get away with a name like that. Imagine like literally calling yourself that and it sticks.
That's such a fucking
It's
with
ridiculous.
a '90s guys like. So what's your name gonna be? It's like LL Cool J. It stands for Ladies Love Cool James. It's like, and the guy looks you dead in the eyes like that's the coolest thing I ever fucking heard.
It
Yes.
just goes to show if you just refuse to be called anything else, eventually it will stick. Like teachers are probably trying to call him James. Like it's LL Cool J. Like Jesus Christ, it's sixth grade math, dude. You
I
can't
don't
be
want anything to take me out of the movie, but Hartnett's bedhead at the bottom but combed at the top is like I don't understand what he's doing here.
Matt. It's like he doesn't give a fuck, but also like my mom does work at the
Care
school.
a little.
Yeah, my mom's an employee here, so I mean, all these kids are addicted to Percocet, right? They have to be.
Why not?
They're rich white 16-year-olds.
Stealing it from their parents' closet.
Hey, if you ever think you have problems, sit down with a rich white 16-year-old for 10 minutes. God, their life is so difficult.
So this scene too, I love this scene. Once again, if we did this earlier, I wouldn't be comparing this to 2018. Thank God we're doing it this Halloween. But I love that she's got it together. I mean,
Yeah,
anybody that would look at her being like, "Oh yeah, she's a single mom, but she's a teacher. She's got a good student." But she is just barely holding on, especially during Halloween. And like here in a second, she already saw him in the mirror, and I love this version of Laurie Strode. I love the other one, 2018. That made sense too. I know you had to do a different angle, but this one's fucking great too. Just God, that scene's great.
and it's interesting because like it could be something that gets beaten to death or gets really tired. Like, okay, man, we get it. She's traumatized. Like you can't do it every movie. But I think because they find different ways to have it affect her character. Like in this one, she is just literally trying to act like it didn't happen. In the 2018 one, even though they're not canonical, she uses it to like fuel her fire. Like you can do different things with the trauma, which is the sort of the creative part on the director. It's like, here's your character. How does she respond to what happened on Halloween, 20 years ago, 25 years ago?
And that wasn't the scene. I think it comes later. But in the first Halloween, which once again, check out our commentary on that. It's fucking great. But scares her. He's like, well, I guess it's Halloween. We're all due for a good scare. And she kind of laughs. In this one, the guy does it, and he just said, well, it's Halloween. I guess we're all due for a good scare. And she looks at him and is like, I've had my share.
Yeah, so
like, which is such a
question.
fucking great line.
That's my question, actually. Does he know who she is via Witsec? Or is she,
No.
I mean, if you're her, you would never reveal that to anyone, right?
No, because she has a different name. He has no clue. Hartnett knows. He knows.
Yeah.
I don't know if he knows his mom's real name, but he knows about Michael Myers and everything like that. He knows. She told him. But this is just some guy she's fucking for her career, Jeff. You don't tell him everything.
Does she mention what happened to Josh Hartnett's dad? I mean, I'm sure he's just waiting in line for that pack of cigarettes. He'll be back.
That's the other thing that was never mentioned, which is interesting.
Men are pigs. I mean, that's all I got from it, if you want my takeaway.
But when I watched this, I'm like, man, they could have gone so many different ways with this because, like, who's his dad? Like, they could have went, which we...
What if his dad is like a fucking shithead and he sells them out to Michael Myers, tells him...
Well, it leads me to my next Jeff Hornacek's fun fact, is one of the reasons that Carpenter left the project is because the early speculations was this was a copycat killer.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of the speculations, like what if it was Laurie's husband and stuff like that, and that'd be weak. I mean, coming from an Iron Man 3 or Iron Man fan as yourself, Jeff, Iron Man 3, like if it's not the same killer, I think that's weak.
Yeah, man, it's tough. I'll say this, surface level, totally agree. Kind of a cop-out, but it could be done in a way that I think it could be serviceable.
But then where's Michael Myers?
Well, maybe that's not necessarily what this movie's about. Maybe it's about Laurie's trauma and how this, like, if the guy, like, we don't know the relationship with her and Hartnett's dad, maybe it's her ex-husband or not, but if you were him and you were sadistic and really wanted to fuck with her, you would harass her dressed as fucking Michael Myers, right? You'd be an insane person to do that, but that would be the one way to really get at her. Does he have a choker?
It'd be interesting. I always thought it'd be interesting if Laurie turned into Michael Myers, or Michael Myers is basically like a Fight Club entity that Michael Myers is dead, but now she is Michael Myers, kind of like...
He's like a mantle, like Batman, sort of.
After what they did in 3, 4, and 5, they've lost so much of the loyal fandom that this has to be Michael Myers. It has to be 20 years later, and he has to be coming back for her and her son.
I mean, the franchise, I won't even say it was hanging on a thread at this point. I would say it was dead, and this had to be like a straight up put the defibrillators on the chest of it and try and bring it back to life, wouldn't you?
Right. So this is the scene where she's like, do you know what day it is? And you're just going to walk around town on me today. I don't ask very much. Just one fucking day. Don't do it. And he's like, I'm 17, which, remember this, Jeff, he's 17. Remember that.
Okay. So if he wants to buy cigarettes or vote, Michael Myers will be like, hey, go vote. I want you to go vote Democratic. He's like, I can't. Fuck, I'm going to have to come back. Next year's not an election.
I mean, what if I knock up a chick and, I'm not really ready? I don't feel comfortable. I think we should have options. That's all I'm saying. I can't wait. If you're watching this along with us, Jeff, someone else was 17. That's why this movie is so fucking brilliantly written.
I guess Laurie was 17 when it first happened. Is that where?
Yes.
Okay.
And she'll realize that in a couple scenes, which the whole time I'm watching this, I'm like, okay, Halloween H2O. It's 20 years later, so 20 years, she's, what would that be, 47? Who cares? Why is it 20 years later? And then you realize, like, because he comes, I guess, he follows laws, Jeff. If they're the legal age to be an adult, then he'll come and kill you.
Yeah, look, I'm a lot of things, but law-abiding citizen is one of them. But you're
It doesn't. But it doesn't matter when you're 17 if you've been baptized it doesn't matter. You're still going to die. I'm just saying that I'll give you 16 years. And then once you're 17, shit's going to hit the fucking fan.
You have 16 and a half years to figure your shit out, okay?
Talk about throwback. Remember the GMC Jimmy? I love that. I love that car. That's like a little Jeep.
I remember the radio on it specifically. Anytime they go to the handheld camera, it's Michael Myers' point of view, which is that's sort of a trope. I don't know if the new one did that. Did it?
No. Dude, I watched that with my mom in theaters and did a review, and I'm guaranteeing you probably know more about it than I do because you've seen it more recently than me.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I fucking loved it, except at the
great.
end I hated it because they were teasing Laurie's daughter to be him, and I'm like, no, don't do that.
It was really subtle. Now, you're correct completely because that's where the story's going, but it was so subtle that I almost thought, like, well, they're at least leaving some different options open.
Oh, Cool J getting read the riot act. Like, you have one job, and you didn't do it. That's not let anyone out. So she's not an uptight mom. Just on Halloween, just please, don't leave. That's all she's asking. But Halloween, Jeff, as young whippersnappers years ago, we know if there's one day you can get laid, it's October 31st.
Yeah, I mean, everyone is on edge, and if you can provide some comfort or stability as someone's rock, pretty much have it locked up.
It's the easiest thing to do. When someone is on the TV who's 6'5", 250, roided out to the gills with a knife, and all you look at your girl and say, if he was attacking you, I'd kick his ass, you're going to get at least a blowjob. It's fucking easy. That's all you have to do. Michelle Williams. Remember when she just didn't take herself that seriously and just had fun acting? Neither do I.
Yeah, it was about a 3-minute window we had here.
I did Dawson's Creek and Halloween H20, but then I wanted to be an artist.
I had a
because
kid with
I
Ledger,
fucked an artist, so I thought I was one.
Right, and he's no longer with us. Now, he would have left me 15 years ago, were he, but that's not a matter of we need to discuss.
If you give a girl flowers and a treasure map and she doesn't do anal, then you did the treasure map wrong.
And it's even better if the treasure map looks like a 6th grader drew it,
I love girls like, oh my god, he took time. I'm like, literally, I mean, I was getting a 6-pack anyway, so I bought flowers, and literally that drawing took me 10 minutes to do.
I hope the paper doesn't smell, because I actually drew the map while I was taking a shit. I have a little TV stand. Like, it's for TV dinners, but I bring it in.
It makes, yeah, if you just come to the bathroom, it makes sense, but...
I still can't get over how bad that chick's throat got slit in the beginning of the movie. My God.
Get over it. There'll be more.
If you're Hollywood, though, this was a great buy low for the two teams here, Hartnett and Williams.
I think because they didn't have Charlie Conway as the other guy.
Yeah. What's his fucking name? Josh Jackson. That's right. I love me some Josh Jackson.
I have it tattooed on my forearm, if you give me a second.
Wow, only the forearm? I went with the bicep. Whose candles are all of these? I mean, no 17-year-old guy has candles like this. Although, even if you're planning to get laid, it seems like a bit of a... Dude, this is what I love about dating in, like, early high school, late high school. You will find any fucking reason to turn a meaningless holiday into a big deal because you think it gives you a chance to fuck your girlfriend.
So getting laid, 5 steps. 1, find a holiday. Easy. 2, light candles. 3, either play a movie or music that is designed around the holiday to get in the mood. 4, alcohol. 5,
be good looking. There you go.
I think that's all you need.
Oh, look, he has a sense of humor, Matt. He has a sense of humor. He can laugh at himself.
I don't know when her and Heath started dating, but
Probably right
this is
around
fucking
now.
great too. When I honestly, probably not during an election year when everyone's so uptight, but I always wanted to dress up as Michael Myers and just look up, like when people looked out the window, they just saw me.
That would be fucking cool. There's a bunch of gifs on Twitter of him just like standing in someone's like backyard, staring up at the window.
Once again, not during an election year though, Jeff. Like, like Matt Geiger and Broforce Squad got shot 8 times in the chest.
What was he doing? Well, he was dressed as Michael Myers standing in someone's
It's
yard.
just a joke. Like,
Hey,
fuck.
well, hey, have a sense of humor, Jesus.
The media is like, well, did he have priors? I mean, he got a minor in possession. Well, then he deserved it.
That doesn't count. All right, Matt. As much as I love the ambiance of looking out into the field, hoping you get murdered, I have to take a piss. I'll be right back.
Okay, I'll take over. So Laurie Stroud, aka Miss Tate, which is her WITSEC name, calling Josh Hartnett over to basically like, hey, listen, you can go on the trip. I signed the permission slip. I'll also pack some condoms. Go have fun. Listen to the 90s rap. Which is a big step for her character, finally, and this is what makes the story all tie in. She finally lets him go because she's like, maybe I'm being nuts. Michael's dead. You know, there's something tragic that happened to me. However, I need to let it go because nothing bad has happened in it'd be 20 years from then, which means that 3 years after that happened, she found a guy, got pregnant, and then had Josh Hartnett. But the problem is Josh Hartnett already told all of his friends he wasn't going, so they were basically staying to just party and have sex at the campus because they're going to have the campus all to themselves. So now everyone's leaving for the trip. Hartnett, his friend who's not Josh Jackson, the chick who is Taylor from She's All That, and Michelle Williams, Heath Ledger's ex, are all going to stay on campus and drink and have a fun Halloween. Also, I'm drinking Truly strawberry lemonade, and it's the greatest fucking thing ever. You should go pick up a pack. So Lori's finally cutting the umbilical cord, and she's probably going to have sex with the principal tonight. It's going to be a good night on Halloween. I don't know if you can do pictures in the comments, but if you do, tweet at us at Bro4 Squad your best Halloween costume ever. Mine was Macho Man. And this is also Lori's mom, Jamie Lee Curtis's mom in real life, who is in Carrie. And she gives the classic quote of, it's Halloween, we all deserve a good scare. And she says, I had my fair share, which is the quote from the original Halloween. It's fucking cool, like Easter eggs when you have mother, daughter, or father, son, or somebody acting together, but they're not really father, son in the movie. It's fucking awesome. I don't know why her last name's Curtis, though. Her last name's Crane in real life. Probably because she got married. I don't know. Probably a Sheen Estevez type thing. Just back from peeing.
What state are we in again here? California?
Yeah.
So, Matt, I was thinking of something while I was listening, and you might have discussed this. Do you think that the Halloween movies are at their best when they take place in one single night just on Halloween? Or do you think sometimes it works? Like this one, it's primarily just on Halloween, but there's definitely a lot of exposition given leading up to that moment.
I mean, they got to take place. I mean, it's got to be October 30th and October 31st.
Yeah. Because that's what was so cool.
I don't mind. She's given some flashbacks from the first one, which is fine, but no, it's got to be. Is it you or Who's the person on the Broforce squad that loves movies taking place in one night?
That's me. Yeah.
Okay. I love that too. I mean, I don't love it as much as you do, but it is pretty cool.
It just I don't know. It just feels like pacing wise, everything feels so. It's so much. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say
It builds
faster.
anticipation because you're like, oh my God, it's only 11 a.m. at school, but God, we're going to tear it up tonight on Halloween. I
Right.
love Halloween, might be my favorite holiday. I love Christmas, but Christmas, it's
It's
easy.
the build
It's
up to
easy to
Christmas.
be a good holiday. I fucking love Halloween. You get to dress up as your favorite, like comic book, wrestling, or whatever character you want to be. It's anticipation from like about September 15th. You think about what you want, you wear it, and you go get candy. You're with your friends. You get to do like kind of almost like bad shit. You can TP someone's house, or I mean, someone TP'd my house on Halloween. I'm like, cool, good job, kid.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Plus, with Christmas, the build up is really the best part. You know, like when
Yeah,
Christmas Day actually
after
hits, it's almost kind of anticlimactic because the coolest part is like all the things leading up to that. And honestly, 1v1, I would might take LL Cool J versus Michael Myers.
yeah, 4 o'clock on Christmas Day is probably the most depressing thing ever because you're like, wow, it's only about 3 hours and this is all over. Halloween, at least when it's over, you're like, well, now we got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, we got New Year's.
I don't know
Yeah,
if Michael
these
Myers.
Trulies are going down easy.
Yes, I'm drinking the Corona seltzers. Same. I don't think Michael Myers tags are up to date, Matt. I don't want to like raise too many red flags.
LL Cool J is like, hey, this guy with a mask and a knife and a gun just came in, and I don't want to say it, but his tags aren't in date.
Oh God, he says he just renewed them and they're coming in the mail, but I thought they gave him temporaries. He's giving me 3 insurance cards. They're all expired. I don't know. I don't know.
And his left blinker's out. Listen, I don't want to be that guy,
That
but
one I can handle.
something's up.
The second the cop pulls behind Michael Myers, he's like, "Fuck, he's gonna get me for the blinker. I know it. God damn it."
I mean, if you're Michael Myers, the best guy on planet, you can't steal a better car than that. I mean, come on. He should be pulling up in like a 98 Corvette.
That looks like a Model T. Like, where the fuck did he even get that? This school too. Talk about like a interesting aesthetic. It almost feels like Hogwarts. It's like sort of like a castle, so many windows. It's in the middle of the woods.
Once again, I think this movie is better in 2018, and this is why. Just because everyone's gone at this field trip, but Hartnett and We Wish was Josh Jackson and the chick from She's All That and fucking Heath Ledger's side chick is all at the school. Like, all this is going to happen at the school, at an abandoned school. That's fucking badass.
That is a really, really cool setting. And if you're a lawyer right now,
She's
like
going to fuck the principal.
Matt, they work together. Do you realize how unprofessional that would be? There's no way. Also, she
Remember
just
in the
got
90s when we'd watch this and we'd think it was unprofessional? This is a great scene too because she's like, I
he's like
keep seeing him.
he's
Like,
not going away. Is that actually him?
right. It's like when you're trying to have sex with a chick and she says no, and you just close your eyes. This is a figment of my imagination. This isn't happening.
This guy though, I don't know, man. She can do way better than him.
Think of all of her baggage, though. Like she has a kid,
Yeah, but he's
and
grown
the,
up.
and the other stuff.
He's grown up enough to where he's got his own stuff going on. I mean, yeah, he's gonna hate this guy no matter who he is. You're not my fucking dad. Well, where is your dad, Josh Hartnett? I don't see him walking through those
Yeah,
doors.
he's probably killing people.
So Carpenter, it's weird that he uh like signed on and then they still like were trying to force that script on him and then that wasn't even the end script.
Oh, we'll get to the end script during the ending.
It's almost like a
So
Katie Holmes
I got some
the dark,
hot takes.
it's almost like a Katie Holmes Dark Knight situation, right? Where Tom Cruise wouldn't let her do it because of the sex scene. And
Yeah,
then
except
Nolan
I
took it
don't
out.
think Carpenter's into Scientology, but yeah, I think that's his bag.
Oh, I didn't realize the Gothic chick was his daughter. Or is Michelle Williams his daughter?
No, I think, well, it'd be the Gothic chick, right? Because the hair color.
I mean, maybe. Depends
Who
what her
would
mom
you
looks
date if
like.
you're in high school?
Um, Actually, me, probably the blonde chick, but me now, I'd be like, dude, you should have fucking dated the Gothic chick.
Who would I date?
The Gothic chick,
Of
1000%.
course.
Yeah. She's more damaged goods. But
You're
then I
like,
mean it
okay, I
because
got a blonde and I got this. And I'm like, who's the skankiest? Okay, I'll pick her.
which
That's
one is
fine.
angrier? You are? Okay. Well, which one is more likely to pull a
Which one's
knife on
dad's not around? And okay, yeah, yeah, it
you?
seems like me.
Which one of you is more likely to threaten to fucking kill me if you catch me
Like
texting
when
and
the wait, like when the waiter's trying to push specials on you. Like I know what I want. I want the steak. Well done. I don't
okay, but
care what the chef wants. I
I
don't
just
want
think
to
you
see
should
any ink.
hear about our potato skins is all that I'm saying. I get that. And I'm gonna put in the steak order for you. So he pulls the vodka. She pulls the vodka out by the frozen pizzas. But would it kill you to throw one of those tombstones in the oven too?
Honestly, vodka with frozen pizza, that sounds like Banner's lunch.
It's like a slow Tuesday for Banner.
Yeah. That's him alone with his daughter, just like, like chilling and watching her.
Dude, it is kind of crazy though. Like frozen pizzas, in theory, should be horrible, but they're fucking delicious. Like nothing about that should
I
taste.
don't. I would like to meet a person that thinks they're horrible. Honestly, I think DiGiorno is better than Domino's.
I do too.
I'm on that crowd, but if even Tortinos, whatever the ones that are 99 cents, those are delicious too.
Yeah. As I've gotten older, okay, this guy Matt, he's putting the pussy on a pedestal. It's
Have
too
you
much.
ever carved a pumpkin,
I have.
like other than with your mom?
Yeah, we did once in college, and really, really boring and stupid and not fun at all.
I mean, I did it with my mom, and it's a lot of fun. I don't think me and my wife have ever done it. I mean, it's like a tradition thing, but if you could, if you take that with putting up the tree, I'll take putting up the tree all fucking day. Carving a pumpkin is not as fun as putting up the Christmas tree.
Oh, yeah. If anyone even tries to put those in the same stratosphere, no way. So Matt here, Hartnett is trying to set up his buddy, I guess, with the Gothic chick. If I'm Hartnett though, we get this group together, and I'm like, guys, call me crazy. It's Halloween night. Maybe we just trade. Maybe I'll take Gothic chick. You
Or
can have.
maybe he falls asleep and I get both of you. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
What's the
Okay,
line in Starsky
I'm
and
just
Hutch where Owen Wilson is going to hook up with Ben Stiller's girl, and she's like, "Just so you know, I really like your friend." He goes, "He's great."
what's the line of the movie? Is like, let's just put everything on the table. Let's not just count anything out
Let's
just
not
yet.
rule anything out. Is all that I'm saying. We need to rewatch that movie, even if it's not for a commentary. It's just
I don't have this fun fact, but isn't Jamie Lee Curtis um like something in real life? Like she doesn't like she has something going on down there. Have you heard that?
yeah, I did. I'm not sure if that was like one of those old wives' tales. I think she was born with like some messed up genitalia.
Okay.
Like she's definitely female, but there was some, I don't know if she had like a twin that was like similar.
Which I don't really care because I fucking love her
And
in
it's never going
this.
to
Not
matter
so
to
much
me.
Freaky Friday, but
True
no
Lies
matter
has
how
its
old you get, though, Jeff, you're expecting ass on fucking Halloween.
yeah. I mean, he made the effort to come over. It's like what?
In college, was that probably your favorite day?
Yeah, just because every outfit became slutty,
The
fill in the blank.
sluttiest thing you've ever seen. But you could dress as a clown and still get laid. It's a male holiday for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, males have not struggled to benefit in the history of time, and that is sort of the case in point.
we we don't yeah during the social struggle of 2020, white males, we don't have much to say at all. We can't really bitch,
This
so
guy's
just
thinking
kind
like,
of sitting back.
how much longer do you need to talk about this guy before we can fucking get down to business? I guess he doesn't even
So
really know though, right? Because he,
no, so this is where she said, like, he's like, yeah, Michael Myers, like, why are you telling me this story? It's just a fun story to tell on Halloween. And he's like, yeah, everyone dies. Like, no, I'm her. So that's where you go to, like, okay, this girl is girlfriend material, and now maybe she's Dr. Evil quotations, just a friend.
right. I don't really know if this thing has the legs to go the distance. This guy looks sort of like Ben Mendelsohn's dad. You getting a Ben Mendelsohn vibe from him?
Jeff, he wishes every night
He
on his
wishes his
knees.
balls could produce Ben Mendelsohn. If I'm Lori,
Who
though,
somehow looks 28 years older than him.
oh, straight from the bottle. Holy shit.
If there's anything that the holidays bring out, that's when I'll drink liquor.
For sure.
It's just fun.
Only
Like
time I
like
ever
Michael
felt.
Scott said, Christmas is great. You can get drunk and no one can say anything about it.
Yeah, Christmas is a time where you can drink because your relatives are driving you insane. Halloween's a time because you can drink just because you need to drink.
Yeah. And the chick that's dressed like a total whore that you're dancing with, you probably want her to drink more
I
than
think that's the
you.
great part about Halloween. Everyone understands that the next day, when November 1st hits, we hit the reset button. None of this
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. That's just a nice tip that I'll give you. It's kind of like slow cooking the turkey on Thanksgiving, but so this is when she realizes she got the happy 17th birthday and she's like, I was 17. Like, this is the year. If any year he'll come back, this is the year. Which you
Yeah.
could say is like you're a conspiracy theorist, whatever. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Michael he's been getting one of those one, like joke a day calendars, just counting down until her son would be 17 years old.
So what do you think Michael was doing? Like, oh, he's got the pirate flag. Me and Banner love that. What do you think Michael was doing in the 20 years? Like, what do you think, Jeff? What, do you think he was like a middle manager at a Kinko's or?
I think he had a couple small business ideas he tried. Funding fell through a few times.
Right.
2020, we would have just shot right there, Matt, wouldn't we? One thing I got to say, I feel bad for this guy because he knows. And look at his face. He knows now he is not getting laid tonight.
Yeah.
God damn it, she's way too
She's
worried
worried about
about.
her son. There's no way. I listen, LL, I'm gonna go masturbate in the corner just real quick. Take me like 10, 15 minutes. Actually, sorry, the 90s. It'll take me 20, 30 because I gotta get my dial up to get porn first.
Yeah,
It's not on your phone yet, Jeff.
let me download this
Jesus
picture of
Christ, these are
this.
caveman times.
Is she trying to sneak liquor out of the kitchen?
I hope so. This is
Is
the
this
girl I picked, so I hope.
is this at the same house or is this at the principal guy's house?
No, they're at the school, but they're in like the cafeteria ish. I mean, they're at a private school, so it's really nice. She's
Oh,
like, I
so are
got
these
the
guys
wine.
already a thing, or is this like the first time he's putting the moves on her?
I think they're already dating. The thing I love about her is, she's only about a drink away. Is like, do you know what my dad like? I've never even met him. I'm like, what? Why would anyone not want to meet
Why
you?
would anyone not want to be a part of your life? Here, let me
Your
read.
mom sounds like a prize too. Been, married to 4 guys, had 5 kids with 4 different guys. I mean, why would
And
anyone?
a lot of people have a Vicodin addiction, so I would tell your mom to not even worry about that. You know? Yeah,
I might
right,
want to
right.
start doing push-ups during this scene. This is a great scene.
I mean, yeah, this is how they set up a great death. It's been again. I understand the way that the film works, but I have not had enough Michael Myers yet, so I'm hoping in these last 30 minutes we do a little making up for lost time. Oh yeah,
Would you would you ever do that when it's down there? I just grab it.
right. I don't understand what he's trying to accomplish.
I don't know. He's trying to get the wine opener, which I guarantee he doesn't even know how to work because I only know how to work at 50% of the time. I don't drink much wine.
Okay,
You
quick
probably
thought.
do. You drink wine.
Here's my problem with wine openers. Why are there 37 different fucking kinds? Just make one.
Because
Everyone is different. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
I mean, the wide world, though, Jeff, you got to kind of turn up your nose. So when you look at this guy, I mean, what the fuck do you think?
Well, this kid who hasn't seen his
What?
actual dad in 20 years is like, Dad? But you know what's crazy? So this is supposed to be, this is back to our original Halloween movie commentary. It's supposed to be a Shatner mask, right?
Fun fact. Fuck this belt.
We need to figure out the
Anyway,
situation.
it's I don't know. It's something's wrong with it. I'll figure it out. Um, So they've used multiple masks in this movie, especially during reshoots. So yes, at the first it was a Shatner mask, but they've used a couple different masks. Like that mask wasn't the same as the first two,
Yeah, it
which
looks.
I don't mind. I mean, you listen. Michael Myers is what 40. He's gonna buy a different pair of jeans. He might get a new mask. That's fine.
Teams change jerseys, you know? It's like, were people complaining about that? Was that like an issue?
It was just something that was brought up that during reshoots his mask and he slit his throat. What the fuck?
It is kind of interesting. It seems like in this movie now, Michael has a fetish for the throat. That was not a thing prior, right? He would just stab you.
So Vegas sports book, the slutty chick that hates her dad that wants to have sex. How long do you give her in this movie?
I mean, I would say 10 more minutes. That's a creepy fucking shot. Him like looking down the laundry
Yeah.
chute. Jesus.
What's great about this though is when you watch this with the girls in like 8th grade, no one really realizes like the slut always dies. No one realizes that. No one cares.
So, Matt, let me ask you this. We're talking great horror killer tropes. Now, Michael Myers, I think, has the more quality films. Obviously, Jason Voorhees has the more quality films. Who invented the slow, methodical? It's not even a chase after you, it's like a walk after you. And then who perfected it? Because Michael was first, but Jason never breaks stride in a single movie, and his kill count is probably up almost to the
Yeah, I think Michael like acts like he's slow, but then goes quick. I think Michael's more athletic than Jason, if we're gonna go tail the tape like UFC style. And I think
what's the reach.
I think just to follow me, follow along. But I think Jason is more stays in character longer, if that makes sense. I will agree with that
One thing,
because
they're both
there's
like
sometimes
murderers.
Michael, yeah, Michael is strong, but he's more athletic. I think Jason's more of like a D end, and Michael could be like a one of those hybrid like Cam Chancellor linebacker free safeties.
Yeah, this is the Jason, or excuse me, the Michael I know. Like enough of the throat slitting. Let's get down
Yeah.
to our bread and butter. The Mariano Rivera cutter, just the multiple butcher knife stab to the heart.
Fucking you think it's in your power zone, then it just cuts on your hands.
Right,
You,
and it
you have
saws
no
you off.
shot.
Saws you off. Do we have enough fucking globes in the basement of this school? I've never seen so
No.
many kitchens in a school.
This is a private school, so I don't think we can even give context. Did anyone in the Broforce squad go to a private school? I was thinking the only two that would be Banner or Cycly.
I went 1 year in first grade, so
Oh, you did?
yeah,
In California?
yeah, in San Diego,
Wow.
San Diego. Now here,
Did the
Hartnett.
kids like beat you up because you didn't know the difference between the salad fork and the real fork?
Oh my God, it was horrible, Matt. Can't even tell you. So if you're Hartnett here, you're walking the fine line of like, I want to be brave so that my girlfriend will blow me, but also this is real blood. Like, and that chick's really hanging from the lights. So
Yeah, that's a great scene right there.
I'm
That's
getting the
Saw-esque.
Curie much too. Yeah, for sure.
That I mean, Saw was fucking gruesome, but I mean, you're talking late '90s here. You're getting some fucking blood and gore. So Hartnett here realizes what's going on. He's probably thinking either
He saw the shadow of Michael, right?
Well, he knows it's Michael Myers because his mom told him. Oh my God, what are you gonna fucking do? Well, Michelle, you're gonna go on to other roles, and then you're gonna petition people on how to vote and how to do everything at the Oscars. That doesn't
You're going to
sound like
become
me.
way too self-important. So maybe Michael should stab you first. Jesus. So
So if you had a knife right there to the quad, there's no way, no fucking way you could walk like that. No
no.
fucking way.
I mean, think about how crucial that is to all of your motor skills.
Yeah.
So, Matt, one thing I thought was kind of interesting. So, in the new Halloween, the 2018 one, how old would you say Michael is? Like mid 60s?
Yeah. I mean, 74 was the first one. So
And
yeah, probably.
how old is he in that? Like
So my, so my
25?
dad graduated in 78. Now he's 60. Yeah, he'd probably be 60s.
So do you think they've done because people and again, there has to be some level of this in these movies, but like
I sorry, I love this scene. This is such a great
I'm
scene.
already nervous.
This is I mean, you and Cycly, you should love this fucking scene. So she drops the keys, of course, because women, right? He he can't get to them, and this scene was in the trailer. At the end of it,
Dude, Hartnett has the choker necklace and then of course the auxiliary necklace that hangs down a little bit lower.
Jeff. Apparently, you didn't get laid until you're 28. I mean, that you had to do that.
I wish
That was
she
like
had done
basically like, having a license to drive. So she opens it, and this is the
Wow.
scene that was in the trailer.
I
So fucking
love
great.
this. And she looks in his eyes.
This is directing right here.
Holy
Gone and he's
shit.
gone. This is fucking great. This
Oh,
movie is fucking great. I
Matt,
defend this movie all the time, and Jeff, now you know why.
now I'm in. That right there was worth the price of admission. That was fucking cool. I'm kind of
That
mad.
is textbook horror movie scene.
And Zack Snyder's
You
like, gotta
create
have.
the urgency. Mhm. God, it feels like Halloween. It is. It's Halloween. God damn it. This
Another
is great.
podcast I listen to talks about nostalgia porn, and that's what that was.
That was such. I mean, fans love Easter eggs, especially living in a world that we do now with comic book movies and stuff like that. But so you have Jamie Lee Curtis's mom in this, and then you do that scene. I'm fucking in. And now we're about to do the coin toss for the third act. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, man. How
So
much is
another
left in
fun.
this? 'Cause I could do another
Uh,
hour, but we only have 20 minutes. This is what I
Another
remember. The
fun
slow.
fact. I fixed the bell. Did you hear that?
That sounded great, actually.
Jeff's fun fact. So FX, heard of it?
Love it.
That's where all Jeff's movies, his favorite movies, are on. So they have a lot of alternative scenes from this. And I'm talking like Batman versus Superman alternative scenes that actually have a lot to do with this movie. But it's not in any DVD or any other extended cut of this movie. Only FX has it. So if you watch this movie on FX, you're going to see a totally different movie than what we're seeing now, which is extremely fucking interesting.
Do you know any of the changes they made? Oh, that's a fucking. I mean, this guy, you knew he was going to die the second he showed up.
Yeah,
But, dude, to pick a dude up like that, this is
I
intense.
love his power, like his raw power. Like, I mean, I feel like Step Brothers right now when they're watching Shark Week or Whales.
Look at
Like,
that
that's just
raw
raw
power.
power.
Raw power. Don't go back in the closet, Lori. Oh, my God.
Yeah, there's a couple scenes where her and Hartnett are actually talking about, like her experience on that night and stuff. I mean, they're pivotal scenes for character development in the story, but it's not seen on anything else but FX. And actually, I watched this movie on FX. I think it was last Halloween, and when I watched it, I looked at my wife and like, I have never seen this scene before, and I've watched this movie like 20 times. Very interesting. I don't know if any other movies like that where
No.
sometimes FX will show other scenes, but it's because of the DVD. But so this mask is different. I think they had a total of 4 mask changes.
I'm totally cool with that. If people had an issue with that, I understand there are Halloween franchise purists, but like a serial killer like Michael Myers, guys, hate to break it to you, but he's not going to be the most rational person. He might throw on a different fucking mask one time. He's stabbing
If Brian
children.
Cox was still playing, he probably wouldn't have the neck roll. Sorry to tell you.
Michael Myers could use a neck roll. I still can't believe, like you said, the fucking shoulder and back strength to pick that dude up with a butcher knife. I bet Lori, though, is like, honestly, guys, I think we were about to break up anyway. So it's like,
this is a GMC Jimmy. Yeah, like, listen, don't get all pissed off about the principal. Like, he got weird on me.
yeah, he got really super. Guys, he brought me a fucking pumpkin. Like, what is that?
That's a
What am I
great
supposed to do
scene.
with this?
Don't you think you could break through that gate?
I was
car?
shocked she didn't. You're running for your life. Like, we're going to depend on this fucking thing. If it's anything like the gate getting into my apartment complex, there's no way we can rely on that.
Once again, my horror scene boner going off right here. You go. I'm going to stay because this ain't going to fucking happen again.
Hang on. I have a fun fact about that quote about driving down the street to the Beckers. I have to find it. I X'd out.
Were the Beckers the name of another horror story?
I think it's a reference to the original Halloween. When Jamie Lee, Ken, this is according to IMDb, your horns fun fact. When Jamie Lee Curtis says, "Go down the street to the Beckers," this was supposed to refer to the line from Halloween, "Go down to the street to the Mackenzie's house." The name was changed to Becker, which was the last name of Drew Barrymore's character in Scream.
Yeah, actually, so the rewrites to this movie was the same writer from Scream. Another fun fact.
Wow. So Matt,
we're fucking, like, this is why you have me and Jeff. We're the tag team champs. We play off each other.
Which Hardy boy am I? I have to be Jeff Hardy, right? You can be Matt. Or is one of them dead? Yeah, we're Jeff and Matt.
Matt almost died on the last pay-per-view because his head hit the concrete. I watched it as a wrestling fan, but they're both still. Matt's either gonna die because of in-ring shit, or Jeff's gonna die of drugs. So you can pick which one you want to be.
How did we ever till now make the connection that we have the same first names as the Hardy brothers? Pretty great.
We need to change the pod names. We need to be Jeff and Matt, the Harvey boys, or something like that.
So Matt, I have to ask you then: is Halloween? And again, we'll just say H20. But Jesus Christ, bro, the fucking arm strength. One-armed pull-up, he's just showing off. But is this movie in the same universe as Scream?
God.
She just sent her
awesome
to Drew Barrymore's house, at the start of the movie.
We could. I mean, Scream was... I'm trying to think of all the Scream... Scream, the person was different each time.
Right. Which, by the way, they're making it
interesting. Like they got the idea from Michael Myers. Like, Michael Myers is the Beatles, and they created Zeppelin and whatever. That'd be interesting.
Also, I think part of what Michael's doing right here is actually touring the school. He has a 15-year-old kid who'll be a freshman next year, and he wants him to get a good quality education.
Listen, I'm gonna kill my sister, but also my daughter, who's very bright, is probably looking. Doing something else, so I'm going to tour the school as well.
You guys would be lucky to have her. In fact, if you want to throw some more scholarship money my way, I definitely wouldn't balk at it.
I love this scene. This scene's in the trailer too. In a couple minutes, when he starts flipping the tables.
Let me ask what might be a dumb question. Does Michael ever kill anyone not with a butcher knife?
I mean, what? I mean, Jeff, if you got the great left hook, why would you knock anyone else out with it? I mean, no. Why would he? There's a couple movies where he'll like strangle somebody or do something like that. I love this scene where he's like, fuck this. I'm just going to flip over all the goddamn tables. The mask, the only thing I can see the difference is the hair shorter.
But is that on the, I've always wondered,
him with the California flag?
Is that on the mask, though, or is that his actual hair? I've always kind of wondered that.
No, that's on the mask.
Has this ever worked in a movie, like throwing stuff on the ground?
They just step over it.
Why would you throw the knives on the ground?
I don't get it. I threw a Frisbee over his feet.
You got to hit with one of these, Lori. We're point blank here, right?
Oh shit! God, that's awesome. That's a good scene too. Kicks him in the nuts, and she sees the knife.
Beat him with his own weapon. It'd be like
Uh,
going
I'll
air
say
raid against Texas
Carpenter
Tech.
didn't direct this, but it felt, and I don't know if Carpenter's over. Well, he's not over the hill because he directed 2018. It was fucking fantastic. But the director in this should be given kudos. I'm not going to look him up. Don't care enough. But this is good. This whole movie is a very well directed movie.
Yeah,
You always got
I'd always kind of written this
shades of the
movie off,
first one, Jeff. When she threw him over the fucking balcony, you think
and
he's
then
dead, but he's not.
and then she looks back and he disappears. I've always kind of sort of scoffed at this movie mainly because the title just feels very dated. But actually giving it a chance and watching it, this is very quality. This might be my third favorite Halloween behind the original in
I
2018.
I've been on my knees to you guys so many times that H20 is a credible Halloween movie to watch every October, and no one listens to me except Banner, who no one pays attention to when he watch movies because he'll watch anything. It's not fair.
It sucks that
But this,
LJ died just on a misunderstanding, really.
well, what are you gonna do? Sometimes shit happens. But yeah, man, this goes right along with the story. It makes sense. 17 years, Hardin 17 years old. That's when he killed her. That's why he's coming back. Because Halloween, there's so many times you're like, why now? Why is he coming back now? It's just because you guys want money? No, this makes sense.
Do you think, Matt, and I hate to even bring this up because they can both exist and both be great in their own right, but does it diminish either this one or I guess the new one that they were like, oh, L's alive, thank God.
He's
That they just keep
fine.
like retconning everything, like saying this one's canon and then it's not. Like, I think continuity wise, even the Fox X-Men movies would be like, yeah, this is a fucking mess.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that's why 2018, if you check out our review on that, I had a problem like, okay, so you got my money on all this other shit, which was terrible, and you just told me, well, that's not canon. But, at the end of the day, it's Halloween. There's no other good Halloween movies out in theaters. So I will go see this one. And if the first one's just canon, I'll watch the first one and then I'll go and see this. I understand that it's a dangerous slope to go because then if every movie does that, what if DC starts doing that? What if even Marvel, who makes 90% good movies, but what if there are two movies that they didn't like, oh, those aren't canon anymore?
Right.
But I'm fine with it. Fuck it. I love this scene too, where she's like, you know what? I've seen this too many times. I'm gonna take the gun from the cops and I'm gonna kill myself.
As as Bill O'Reilly says, I'll write it and we'll do it
We'll
live.
do it live. Okay, this is where this movie starts taking a turn because I have a big fucking problem from here on.
And a
This
lot of
movie
times
has been
with these
a
movies, the last
perfect
10 minutes,
Halloween movie.
I was gonna say last 10 minutes, these things make or break, really.
This has been a perfect Halloween movie up till now.
So obviously she is like, unless I see his desecrated corpse, I'm not gonna actually believe he's dead.
Yeah, he's not dead. We all know it. He's gonna move. What if this was a movie on Halloween, Jeff, and she just rides off and the credits roll and he's actually dead? Everyone would be pissed. Is he gonna move?
We'd be like, huh.
And your
This is
one friend that got a master's like, I think it's philological talking about how climate control is destroying our planet.
this is me after like 4 whiskey sours the next morning. I'm basically in a
This is
body bag.
this is Banner every morning trying to get up out of fucking bed all the covers because he's so hungover.
I mean, you got a dive roll out of this thing, right?
Do you though? You're on the California hills. That would work.
Yeah,
Actually.
for sure.
If someone doesn't have a seatbelt on and you're
Hey,
going
click
70,
it or ticket, Matt. Click it or ticket. You could drive over him, Lori. That might be a good idea.
she wants him to get up first. She wants him to see it. I love how he gets up like the Undertaker. And I don't know who did that first. I think Michael Myers did that first, and the Undertaker stole it. But how he gets up and then looks.
Jesus.
As a brother and sister, though, we all can relate. We've all wanted to
Siblings
drive
fight.
our brother over a cliff.
Right. Siblings fight, man.
It's just the way it is.
She definitely. Oh, little Logan death here.
He's caught on a tree.
He's probably out 4 to 6 weeks, I would guess.
I mean, if he's in Varsity Blues, check out our movie commentary on that. He can shoot it up and play it next week.
Yeah, 100%. John Voight would be like, this guy's playing.
So here's the problem I have, and here's another Carpenter, Jamie Lee Curtis. Fun fact, where this should be the end. You got Jamie Lee Curtis back. She's about to get a fucking axe. She's going to chop off his fucking head. It's going to be over. But the reason Carpenter didn't sign on and the reason Jamie Lee Curtis said, I'm totally done with this franchise until 2008 when they had to beg her back and saying shit was not canon, is Resurrection shows that this was a patsy Michael Myers. Like, Michael Myers put his mask on somebody else, and that wasn't Michael Myers. Like, you can't keep doing that to us unless you show us this in that movie.
Is Resurrection after this or before this?
After it, with Busta Rhymes. Where basically they resurrect him.
Why?
What do
you mean a patsy? He just like convinced some guy to fucking hunt down Laurie?
Basically, he put a mask on some dude.
And why did the dude do all this? What's his motivation?
I don't know. And why didn't the dude talk? It makes no fucking sense.
Way to just fucking
This is the perfect end. He's like, listen, like, I've been so torn, like, I need help. Like, you're my sister, please help me. He's like, this is such a great ending of this movie. Have you seen this, Jeff?
I haven't.
Okay.
But this is hitting the feels. They still are family, you know?
Yeah.
He's like, do I buy the best Christmas gifts? No. I'm a flawed man.
A flawed man. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
feeling it. Boom.
But also, yeah, I have to chop your head off though. So.
And the music plays the Carpenter theme. Great ending. End it. It's done. Halloween H2O 98. Done.
Always.
Now, if you want to, if you want to in 2018, Jeff, you can remake it and say, hey, by the way, just for fun, only the first one's canon. We're going to do a different thing for Laurie Strode. And I'd be totally in. But you're going to say that was a different dude? Fucking spare me. And the Busta Rhymes one's terrible. So that was Halloween H2O. Jeff, you've never seen this ever? Or not all the way through?
I've seen like bits of it on TV. I remember the scene of LL getting shot, but I don't think I've ever seen like the actual film, like what led up to that. And I have to say, Matt, you were right. This is really good. Like, as far as the Halloween franchise goes, this is, sadly, because it's been so watered down, but it's very top heavy, right? Like, I would say there's 3 films that are really good, and the ones that suck are really, really bad. This is in the upper tier, though. These are one of the good ones.
Just watch this one, the second one. Watch the original, the second one, and this one, and then kind of educate yourself and know it's kind of a weird thing, but then watch 2018. And you can watch the zombie ones, too. They're fine, but
I haven't seen
Happy Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween, folks. Be safe trick-or-treating, but also be drunk. Have a little fun. Fuck it.
Yeah. Bang chicks, you know, that's what they're there for. Website, bro4squad.com. We're on YouTube, obviously. We're on iTunes, obviously, or iHeartRadio or Anchor, or wherever you're watching us from. So while you are watching us, please do us a solid and subscribe to us. We're also on Twitter, @bro4squad. Until then, we will see you next time, probably around Thanksgiving or Christmas.
LL said, I'm fine. The bullet only grazed me. I was like, well, then why did you lay on the ground for 37 minutes?